Welcome to the Make and Design Podcast. I'm your host, Carina Gardner. On this podcast, we're unraveling the everyday joys and dilemmas of design, making, and business. For makers who want to be designers and for designers who are makers, this is your inside scoop to help you grow your business and bring more creativity to your life. Hey, before we get started, I wanted to tell you about something new coming to my website, and that is Ink Club. So some of you who get my newsletter have heard about it. I've posted little snippets about it on social media. But if you want to get in on the action, come over and join the wait list. So maybe you're listening to this after the fact and Ink Club is already open. We are looking for a release of the club on October 1st. So Ink Club is for every creative out there, whether you are a maker, whether you're an artist, any kind of creative, to find community, which has a lot to do with our current episode. So I'm going to dive right into this episode and I'm going to talk a little bit more about it, but I wanted to put this on your radar because currently at the time of actually airing this episode, it is in a waitlist format. So if you want to find out more, I'm going to be spilling everything to that group via email to let them know about what is coming up. It's going to be crazy good. Okay, so today we are going to be talking about community and specifically the two ways you can use community to support what you're doing. Now, this is an episode I think is for everybody. Whether you're an artist, whether you're a songwriter, whether you are an author, whatever your specialty is, whether you're a dentist, oh my goodness, like there are ways that we can feel supported in what we are doing. And usually it's finding some kind of community. So I think there are two ways to do this. The first way is a little more passive, but I think works just as well as anything else, and that is to join a community. So we can join physical communities like clubs, right? People who meet together once a month, or masterminds that my mastermind meets like 3 times a week, so a little more often. We can join membership groups where we can find other people. And I'm really talking about this because recently, at the time of recording this, recently, I opened up a community for my Design Suite members. And before, I kind of said, like, you know, if you guys want community, like if you guys want to talk to each other, like that's another aspect that's going to take me a lot of effort and time. And I'm really concentrated on getting you guys like so that you're making money as designers. And I'm not sure if I want to do this community aspect. So I gave them a Facebook group that they could just go in and talk to each other. Well, it kind of flopped because there was no one there to manage it, no one there to take care of it, no one to give them more info. And so what happened was I decided to open up a community feature in their portal because they all have all their coursework. So I knew that they would have easy access. I implemented a few things and I'm continuing to implement things to get them to know each other. Like we do a member spotlight every single week. That's video so everyone can introduce themselves to each other. We started doing these virtual conferences that will be part of that community aspect. And the more I've gotten into it, the more I've realized just how important community is. And I was able to give that to them because we already had courses and that we already had a portal. But if you want to go join a community, here's my recommendation. Go get on Google and just put in whatever you're looking for. I recently was spotlighted in a quilting member community where it's just like all quilters. Like, I love that so much. Like, people, like, you join together because you have a like hobby or a like interest. If you are, you know, a tennis player, then you're going to go join a league, right? But I think so often we forget, like, if there's something that we enjoy doing, there's probably a community we can join out there that's usually pretty minimal in terms of price to join, but will bring us a lot of joy in our lives and will help connect us with people that we like, right? I think we could spend a lot of time just surfing social media, okay? just kind of being out there, looking at everybody's stuff, but never getting that action, that reaction and action back and forth with another community member. And that's why community is so important. I think we all need to feel loved, needed, trusted. And when you're part of a community, you grow those things and build those relationships with other people. And we need it. I mean, oh my gosh, do we need it? And did we not see that during COVID? How, like, when we felt isolated, how depression rates were rising, how difficult it was for people, how miserable people were feeling. But the moment we're able to band together and have community, that we can have these relationships with other people, even if it's on the internet, which is, I think, an okay thing. Or even on, I'm a big proponent of Marco Polo. That's where I talk to my BYU girlfriends. That's where I talk to my sisters and family members. I have a lot of groups on there I chat with every day. And I think that we need that community. Like, I need that interaction to move forward. Because even though I think you guys have heard me say I'm a bit of an introvert, it doesn't mean I don't still need social time. In fact, I really crave it, but I want it on my terms, right? And that's the nice thing about either joining a group or being able to figure out how you're going to do it, because it can be on your terms. Okay, the second way you can figure out a way to kind of have community in your life is to build it yourself, okay? So this sounds like a crazy thing, but I really believe that social media can be a community. And they've actually even included all these things, like Facebook has a thing now where you can have rooms, Clubhouse, if anyone has heard of that, you can go talk on that. I'm not personally on that very much, just because it's not my forum, but doesn't mean I won't be on it in the future. I mean, maybe I'll really fall in love with it in the future. Instagram has this new thing called Rooms, where you can build community that way. But I actually think even building up a following of the things that you like, so for example, I have a fabric feed. If you want to go follow it, it's at Carina Gardner. And that fabric feed is like all my surface design stuff I've started putting on there, like all my art stuff and all my fabric stuff, like all the stuff I'm doing having to relate with fabric, tons of quilting, because I love quilting, is on that feed. And what has happened is there are people following me and they comment and I comment back, or they DM me. There's like several people that I've maybe only met once like at a quilting conference somewhere, or maybe I've not met at all, that DM me regularly, which is like my favorite thing ever, because we're starting a conversation. Almost always I'm DMing back, I'm following back, I'm talking to them. And that is another way to build community with like-minded people. So like, build it yourself. The other thing you can do is build your own membership. You can build your own Facebook group. There are things you can do to build a community, right? And that way, if you, for some reason, which I highly doubt this is possible, but if you look out there and cannot find the exact thing that you're looking for, and actually there's maybe some things out there. We have a member in our group who is looking for an exact thing that she wants to build a community around. I think you have to go build it. Don't wait for someone else to do it. And I think it's okay for you to build it if it's already out there. If you want to start a quilting group and there's 1 million out there and you want to start one, do it. Do it, do it, do it. Because if you want to put your special stamp on it and you think it's really fun and you love it, then do it, okay? So those are my 2 favorite ways. You either join a community or you start one yourself. And my big thing is to be proactive, to implement. Go find and build relationships with people that are like-minded with you, people who are going to exude positive energy, who are going to lift you up in what you're doing. That's what we want. We're always looking for people to lift us up to the next level, right? What's the saying? I will butcher it. Like, you're like the 5 people that you spend the most time with, right? I think that's 100% true. It's 100% true. And it took me a long time to find my mastermind, because I wasn't looking for like people. I was looking for people either down here and I couldn't find them, or like right at my level, and I needed people to level me up. So I had to do some different things to find that so that I could level up. And I know that you're probably looking for the same thing in whatever activity or creative endeavor that you're doing. All right, guys, if you want to check out Ink Club, you can find that at Carina Gardner courses.com. I would love to have you get on the wait list, or if it's already open by the time you listen to this, I hope you come in and join. It is going to be a really neat community of a kind of a mix of people, but just basically creatives who need it, creatives who want to learn everything. And that is the crazy thing about the people who kind of end up and attracted to my programs, is that very often they're not people who are like, I am only a quilter, or I am only a paper designer, or I am only an artist or a fine painter. So many people come into my program because they like a little of this and that. They like dabbling in Illustrator. They like drawing on the iPad. They like watercoloring. They like calligraphy. They like a little bit of everything. And the truth is, most of us in life, we're not dedicated to just one thing, right? We're dedicated to our creativity and doing a lot of wonderful things. I mean, you guys see, because I have I have 3 Instagram feeds, but 2 I regularly post on, and one of them's paper and one of them's fabric. Do you think all I do is paper and fabric? No, I'm watercoloring, I'm drawing, I'm building, because all of that is very enjoyable for me. So I'm editing video. You guys, sometimes I think in a past life, like I was just a video editor. I'm so into it. Like making really great videos, I think is really fun. All right. Hopefully you enjoyed this, and I can't wait to see you soon. Hey, did you know that you can visit me at makeanddesign.com to learn more about this podcast and join my VIP group for weekly freebies? I can't wait to see you there.